Hi there guys, this is Pete from The Great Games, and today we're here to have a look at Star Wars Rivals. Now we picked this up at UK Games Expo on the weekend. This is coming out very shortly, I believe some point in June. It's made by Funko and it's a lovely little game. If you've played Marvel Snap before, it's very similar to that, but we'll have a look at this all. But you get, in the starter set, you get 4 very well made little figures, and you can then go ahead and buy booster boxes, which you do not know what is coming in each box. The pictures, as it says, do not correspond to what's in there, so it's a bit hit and miss. But I do believe they are releasing a master set eventually, which will include everything from what I've been told. But for the time being, you can just buy boosters and you get new characters, and they all play differently. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this unboxed and set up on the table, and we're going to do a very quick run through on how to play it all. So let's get going. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you what you get in the actual, what's called the Premier set, which is Series 1. So Series 1, assuming they will be doing more of these. So yeah, what you get just inside this box, I'll put that there so you know what we're talking about. You will get Luke Skywalker and Clone Commander Cody. Now in these are the little Funko Minis, which are pre-painted, pre-assembled, everything straight out of the box. They look like that, and they are nice. There, actually, Luke's little lightsaber there is flexible, so it's not going to snap, which is good, because I feel this game has been aimed at sort of all ages. So, you know, children will want to pick this up and play with it. And, you know, it's all flexible, so you're not going to get much damage on these little minis. So yes, on the light side, we have Luke and we have Clone Commander Cody. And then on the dark side, we have the daddy. We have got Darth Vader, who once again, lovely little model, nice little details, and looking good. And we also have Asajj Ventress. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm terrible with pronunciations. But yes, I'm just going to call her Ventress for the first name. I'm assuming is pronounced Asajj. Asajj? Let's go Ventress. But yeah, once again, lovely little miniature. And all looking good. So yes, you get the 4 main characters. And they also give you 2 tokens, because you need 3 players or 3 characters to play a game. Now, as you saw earlier on, what I'd done while I was there, let's get these boxes out, is I also bought 1 booster for the light and the dark side. So we'll see what I got in them in a second. But for the time being, if you weren't to buy the boosters, this is what you get in the starter set. You also get a Rivals High Ground card, light side and dark side. And that is basically to flip to see who goes first. You also get lovely these great little cardboard tokens, which you would lay out as such: 1, 2, and 3, and that is where your 3 main locations will go. And speaking of main locations, here we go. We have a deck of Star Wars Rivals locations. Now I think it's 16 in here. I will have another count in a minute. But yeah, so to set the game up, you would basically shuffle these and you lay 3 out. And these are the locations you can have battles on. So 1, 2, and 3. Now the numbers are relevant, which you will see from this dice. A very oddly shaped, it is a 6-sided dice. But this dice has got each number on this. It's got a V, which I'll explain in a second. You've got one side with 2 and 3, one side with 1, 2, 3, another V, 1 and 3, and 1 and 2. And what you would do, one final thing, sorry, is some not damage tokens, some minus tokens. So yeah, that is what you get in the starter box. So I will take the starter box away to clear a bit of space. And what I will do, because I've got them and it seems silly using these tokens, and there we go. I think you get cards. With each character has 3 cards that come with them. So you'd have 3 Clone Commander Codys, 3 Luke Skywalkers, and a Rebel Trooper card, which we're not going to be using these tokens, these ones, so I'm going to just remove the Rebel Trooper. And the same over here, we will have 1, 2, 3 the Ventress cards, and 1, 2, 3 the Darth Vader cards, and an Imperial Trooper card, and the token, which we're just going to slide over there for the time being. So that is everything you get in the base set. I think is about £18 for the base set, give or take. But yeah, you get a fair old amount for your money. I'm happy with it anyway. Now what we will do now is to show you quickly what we get. So that's set up, that's the game ready to go. So before we go any further, I'm going to bring in the extra ones that I got. Now in my light side booster box, I got Clone Commander Cody, but the hologram version of him. So we'll sit him on there, and once again with 3 cards that come with him, and also 2 Rebel Trooper cards, because you can. They also come with extra ones of these in the booster sets, and all the tokens and everything else. So you can still play a Rebel Trooper, but we're not going to do this time. So I'm going to move those over to there as well. And for the dark side, here we go. We got Captain Phasma. We shall place her there. And with Captain Phasma, we also have 3 more cards. And we have, once again, the extra cards for that one to place over there, which we're not going to use this turn. And you also get location cards. Sorry, I didn't say that a second ago. You do get 2 location cards with each one. And my Clone Commander code, I believe, are already actually in there. Which my Clone Commander code cards were actually there. So I'm just going to put them to one side for the time being, because you can add these into the game. So if you're playing 2-player, you're meant to have 12 location cards. You've got 1, 2, 3... 12. So you have 12 location cards for a game. So once you start mixing and matching your teams and you get more characters, you can put, if I wanted these 2 in, I could select which 6 I want to bring to the game. My opponent would select 6 they bring to the game. You shuffle them up and you battle with those 6. So now let's get into the actual game. So that's what a game setup would look like. And you take your 3 cards of each character, which are slightly odd shaped cards, and I have found awkward to shuffle, but that is what you do. You shuffle and create a hand. So we'll do the dark side as well. And then once these are shuffled, you then both draw off just 3 cards each. And that will create your hands. We'll do 1, 2, 3. And over here, 1, 2, 3. So that is your starting hand. We're going to play first couple of rounds open, just so you can see what we're doing, and I'll explain where these cards actually come in handy as we go now. So the very first thing you do is you deploy your character. Oh, no, it's not the very first thing you do, is flip the coin. So you've got the light side or dark side, which is not easy to flip because it's a piece of card. So maybe they might want to do a coin, or I'm sure you can just use a coin. But whoever's got the high ground goes first. So the light side will go first this round. Once I've got the high ground. And so what you do, you deploy 1 character at a time. So these ones have actually got a bit of text on. Let me just read you these. It's Genesis Weapon Factory is characters deployed here with 3 influence or lower have +2 influence here. So that's a good one for the dark side anyway. And this one here is the Jawa Sandcrawler, and if you score this location, you may add 1 card from your discard pile to your hand. And this one is just a battleground, but the numbers on these are what points they are worth at the end of the game. So that has no other effect apart from end game scoring. So as the light side goes first. I will go straight in with Luke to go there, and we'll speed this up, not too much thinking. And obviously these are +2, so I'll put Captain Phasma on there. So now she would be, because she's only a power 3, anyone with 3 or lower gets +2. So this one is now a power 5. So I would need to put on Clone Commander Cody to equal there with 5 influence on this card, and she will topple it to add another 3 +2, another 5, so that would be 10. So obviously I can't beat that with 5 and 4 unless I do play that card. But what I will do, I will put, no I won't, I will put my hologram over to that one, so Darth Vader will come in and fight there. Now, as I briefly touched on, each player has influence points. So 6, 3, 3, 4, 5, and 4. Now, every character is different, so when you get new characters coming in, they might be higher, they might be lower. It all depends what they come with. So that is where this said, obviously, any influence 3 or lower have a +2. So we'll do a quick idea of the scoring first, but so the next stage is you roll the dice before we do any scoring. So this dice determines what areas you're battling on. So I rolled a 1 or a 3 and a 1. So this middle ground here is not being used in this battle. So we don't score that, but we are scoring on 1 and 3, obviously as marked there. So then you would play a card after you've done that bit. Now what I would do is you play these secretly. So I would play a card which makes sense here. Is Luke Skywalker. I use, it's got the name of the card here, use the Force Luke, and then the text below it. Place up to 2 -1 on an enemy at Luke's location. And you may reveal a Force user's card from your hand to place -4 instead. Now unfortunately my team here, Luke is the only one with Force user written there. This one is the trait of hologram. Then we've got Force user and nothing on Captain Phasma. So I don't have any Force users, so that I'll never be able to use that. But I would play that in secret in front of me, while the dark side would be playing theirs, not knowing that I've played that. So I would place, for that one, I would place this card here secretly, and this one is Darth Vader. It goes, you do not know the power of the dark side. Place -1 on Darth Vader, but double Darth Vader's influence this round. So he would play that secretly. And then we do this reveal. So because the light side has got the high ground, I would flip my card, and I would place 2 -1s on an enemy at Luke's location, which is Darth Vader. So he is now down to 6 -2. He's down to 4 influence. And then Darth Vader was reveal his. So he has to place another -1, which did not work well for him. So he's now down to 3 influence, but he's doubled. So he's actually back up to 6 for this turn. Luke is only on 4. So 6 against 4. Darth Vader wins that location, so that goes over into the dark side. And then the other land we're fighting on was 3, and because Clone Cody's hologram is unopposed, no one's battling him, he comes in with 4 influence, so he would win that one for 3. That is the end of the round. You then bring your players back to their cards, and you draw 2 new locations. So it is really that simple. Now these cards go into your discard pile, which I will make over there for them. In case you're wondering what these dice were, sorry, I forgot they're left out there. These dice come with the booster boxes. So you do get extra little, they're exactly the same as the other ones, that they're just D6s rather than the odd shaped little one that comes with it. So then you would roll these out again. Now you keep playing this until there are no locations left in the pile. You can also add, I'll say, as we just did them, you can add more than one person to locations if you want. You can add all 3 people to location. But if you were to do that and number 1 doesn't come out in the dice roll, this is a good example, which there it wouldn't, then you get nothing. The V, which I said I'll tell you about later on, right now is later on. The V, that means you only score on the highest locations. So 5 in this case, but if there was 2 5s, you would battle on both 5s. And if they're all 5s, you'd battle on all of them. But it just means the highest influence on location. So you've got 3, a 4 and a 5. So if that was rolled this round, you would only battle on 5. So if I put all 3 characters down to here, wasted because you don't battle on that one. The battle only takes place over there. And finally, once you go through all the rounds, all the locations are used up, you then do end game scoring and you total up all of the points on the cards, and the person with the highest points wins. So when the game ends, when the location deck runs out, you score all remaining locations each round. So you don't roll the dice, and the game ends when the last location card is scored. So if no one's on there, then you do another round until all the locations are used up, and then you add up the final score. And the highest score wins. And if it's a draw, the person, unfortunately, whoever's got the high ground wins. But you flip this at the start of each round. So if I was going on to the next round now, this dice, or this lovely cardboard flipper, would be flipped. And if I went over to there, then obviously the dark side would then go first on the next round. Now there are cards on here which I will cover. There's one more thing as well to cover, and that's the back to tank. But first of all, there are cards here which have missions on it. Now these cards like here is mission. You score from hand. If you score a location where the highest influence character is an enemy. So let's say Darth Vader went up against Luke and Clone Commander. So I would win that because I've scored 9 and Darth full power is only on 6. But Darth Vader, the enemy, is the highest influenced character. So then I could then say I'm playing this card as a mission, complete the mission. That would then go in that way up, or even like that. So I know that mission has been completed, and you then lose that card, obviously for future use. So you then decide whether you would want to use that card to gain 5 extra points to win the game, or you can do what it says and then it goes into your discard pile, which then gets reshuffled at a later date. So that's where those mission cards come in play. Now, the other thing I was going to talk to you about is the back to tank, which is an area on the map, which what you would do, like here, Darth Vader has got 3 -1 tokens on him. If you wanted to heal him, you would say at the start of your turn, instead of placing him on a location, you would say he's going into the back to tank. And then he goes out of play this entire round, goes through to the scoring, and at the very end of the round, the 3 points would get removed and he would come back into play to go into the next round. So that is basically how you would heal your characters. I think that is everything we have covered here that we need to cover. Yeah, it's a great little game. It's out this month, very easy to learn. The rule book is quite simply, let's bring it up here, is a bit of square paper, and here it does show you, if you want to have a little look there, at what characters are in the complete set or you can get your hands on. And yeah, it just shows you everything else on what you do, and any rules you need are described on there. So yeah, very easy to learn, very easy to play. Once you get more and more characters, you can build different teams and they will all play differently. So yeah, give it a go, guys. The booster boxes are like £5 each for the little individual characters, which are almost worth it just for the little Funko Pop minis, even if you don't want to play the game. But they're £5 each. With a game of £18, it's a well-priced game from the age. I'm not too sure what age they recommend this game for. Let's have a little look on the box quickly. Ages 7 and plus. It says, now I taught my daughter, who's actually, she has just turned 7, but she picked up literally like that. So go give it a go. in game, I think, is the main place they're stocking it, but I'm very sure other local gaming stores will stock this game. Pick it up, it's cheap, easy to learn, fun to play. And thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, please feel free to add in the comments, obviously, and like and subscribe and all that jazz. We really do appreciate it, and we'll keep the content coming out as quick as we can. Thank you very much, guys.